I am back on that same shit. Hi, I'm Chaotic Tunes, and as you might have known, I worked at Burger King. And I say worked because I no longer work there. I just said work so many times, goddamn. See, I actually kind of enjoyed working at Burger King. The people were enjoyable, the service was fast, typically it was a little stressful, but it was really not that bad, right? Honestly, the people was what made working there pretty good. However, it was not paying the bills, just flat out. I was getting my bi-weekly paycheck of like 400 to 500 bucks, which, if you know anything about Colorado, it ain't shit, okay? Flat out. Just to like give you like a basic idea, a 1-bedroom apartment with 1 bathroom will run you about $1,300 a month, right? If you want to rent just 1 room as a roommate, you have to pay around 600 to 700 bucks. It's dumb, it is, but that's just the way it is in Colorado, right? So it wasn't cutting it, and I went back to what I knew would cut in, and that is being a goddamn waiter. See, like, don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with being a waiter, especially because it pays really well if you're a good waiter, right? So for example, today was a slowish day. It was steady, that's what I like to call it, when it's like not busy, but table comes in, table goes out, and it's just like that, keeps trading off, right? And I was able to make in about 6 hours about 120 bucks, which is pretty good, right? But it can also be kind of a pain in the arse, mostly because you get like really annoying customers. Like, I can recall one time a table kept sending me back over and over and over again to get on small little things, right? I'd be like, oh, can I get you anything else? And they'd be like, oh, can you give me a refill on the soda? And I'd look at all the other sodas, be like, yeah, sure, let me get you one. So I refill her soda, come back, and they'd be like, oh, can we get some napkins? So I get them some napkins, and I come back and be like, oh, can we get a refill on the soda? So I get them that soda. Like, oh, can we get some more, silverware? And they just kept doing this over and over. And you might think it's not that big of an issue because, I'm a waiter, that's what I'm supposed to do, right? And yeah, you're absolutely right. But the issue is that when you have other tables that you're supposed to be taking care of, and you have one table that just keeps asking for more and more stuff, it really sets you behind, right? Those 2 to 3 minutes that you spend on that table, you could have checked on all your other tables to make sure they're happy, right? And the big issue of like not having a happy table is you're the one who's gonna get screwed over at the end, right? If the table's not happy with the service you provided, they're not giving you a good tip, or they're just flat out not giving you a tip. And as a waiter, you kind of depend on that tip. You need that tip, otherwise you are gonna be shit out of luck. However, if you want to be a waiter, I'm gonna give you some tips, okay? I might not be the best waiter, but people often ask for me, so that's a pretty good sign, okay? Tip number 1. At first, you're not gonna make a lot of money, because you need to get your regulars. Once you get regular customers, those are your money makers, alright? I used to have a guy that came in, he only got 3 chicken tacos, iced tea, chips and salsa, right? It was like a $15 bill. He would always tip me between 10 and 15 bucks, which is goddamn amazing. He was like such a low maintenance guy, but because he was my regular and he liked me, I liked him, I talked to him, he just gave me the money. So that's tip number 1. Get your regular customers. Find people that you like. Make sure you take an interest into their, interest. They ask them about their family, ask them about how their kids are doing, just anything like that, right? Don't do it right away. First, like, start getting to know them, and then, get a little more personal with them. Trust me, it will greatly improve your tips. Tip number 2. They will often tell you to always start off with water, to always take them a glass of water when you go and greet them, right? Don't do this. More often than not, they're not gonna drink the water, and you're just gonna be stuck cleaning more glasses off the table. Instead, when you show up, go in there, greet them, and tell them, oh, can I get you started with something to drink while you look at that menu? Right off, you're stating, I'm gonna get you whatever you want to drink, and you can look at the menu. Right, like that, you already established a relationship with them. They feel welcome, it's a friendly environment, and they know you're already like paying attention to them, okay? On average, you want to talk to your table about 4 times in total. So the very first time will be the greeting. Second time will be when you take their order. Third time will be when you take the order out. Fourth time will be about 10 to 15 minutes after you took their order out, and you gotta make sure everything's looking good. And you can talk to them a 5th time when you're taking away the plates. but make sure you do not go over 6 or 7, because at that point you're gonna be a little clingy, and people do not like that because they're going out there to eat and talk with their family and friends. So if you're just constantly interrupting them, they're gonna get a little ticked off. So try and keep let them know that you're watching them by going by their table often. And if you see an empty glass, just ask them if they want to get a refill, but don't be too clingy. And the last tip I can give you, and it's gonna be so obvious, is be nice to them. No matter if you're having a crappy day, if you're having an amazing day, whatever may be going on in your life, make sure you look happy in your job, okay? Because if you don't look happy, the customers are gonna, take a notice of that. And maybe they're not gonna be happy about that. Maybe they're gonna feel like you're bugging them or they're bugging you. And that's not gonna be good, right? It's also kind of like mental games. You need to pretend to be someone you're really not. You gotta be a great actor to be a good waiter, because you need to pretend that you really care about these people. And some of them you might really do care about them, but the others, you don't really know them. So just remember, get your regulars, be happy. Even if you're not happy, pretend to be happy. Keep a good eye on your table. Make sure they know you're looking after them, but don't be too clingy. And try to be funny. People will love it when you're funny. Just follow along with their play or with their jokes, and people will love that shit. They will eat it right out. Nonetheless, though, I hope you liked the video. If you did, make sure you drop like. Right? I really appreciate it. If you want to talk about something, you want to ask me something, drop it in the comment section below. I love to answer your questions. And if you really enjoyed the video, I'd really appreciate if you subscribe to the channel. It really means the world to me. But until next time, hope you have a wonderful day, and don't do drugs, because those things are bad for you.
Omae wa mou